Greetings everybody, Maximus here. Well, before we start, really quick, in case you haven't noticed, we are oh so close to that 100,000 subscriber mark. And of course, it would be nice to get one of those shiny silver play buttons they give us YouTube clowns. But not for me, but for you, because without you, it wouldn't be possible. And when I do receive that play button, I will be sure to open it in a live video for you all to see. So if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. Because remember, it's not my channel, it's our channel. Okay, with that out of the way, now in what I like to call breaking Boeing news, not because the news is actually breaking, but more that Boeing is actually broken these days. But anyway, Boeing announced that outgoing CEO Dave Calhoun was awarded a giant stock bonus on top of his more than $1 million salary last year, despite overseeing a company that has been plagued by chronic losses and safety problems. The 2023 package of Boeing CEO, who recently announced his departure smack dab in the middle of a safety crisis, rose about 45% to nearly $33 million US. That's his pay package. Whether his other package has risen recently, Boeing didn't specify. Boeing said much of CEO Dave Calhoun's compensation is in deferred stock that has fallen in value since the January Alaska mid-air blowout. The adjusted value of Calhoun's total 2023 compensation is $24.8 million. Calhoun's total compensation in 2023 was $32.8 million. Like I said, that was a 45% increase from the $22.6 million he received for 2022, and it could have been a lot more. However, Calhoun so generously declined to accept his annual incentive bonus of an additional $2.8 million, a request the board said that he made after January's Boeing MAX Alaska embarrassing near-fatal incident that kicked off a series of federal investigations, a temporary grounding, executive ousters, and other embarrassing public relations blunders for the company. Boeing shares have dropped nearly 30% this year as they continue to battle with quality concerns from regulators and customers following the January 5th incident. The proxy does not mention an exit package for Calhoun, who announced on March 25th that he will step down from the top job by year's end. In 2022, he received $22.6 million in total compensation. Calhoun's potential retirement payouts were valued at more than $44 million as of year's end of 2023. But the production of Boeing 737 MAX has slipped in recent weeks as U.S. regulators step up factory checks and Boeing seeks to improve its quality. And the crisis, of course, has led to a broad Boeing management shakeup, with Boeing board chair Larry Kellner and Stan Deal, head of commercial airplanes, also leaving, which saw Boeing COO Stephanie Pope step up to replace Deal. The board's new chair, Steve Mellenkopf, told shareholders in the filing that he promises that he personally, along with Boeing's board, will leave no stone unturned in their efforts to get the company to where it needs to be. Last year, Calhoun took home about $5 million in pay after declining to be considered for his $2.8 million bonus then, compared with $7 million in 2022. Earlier filings show Calhoun did not receive a bonus over the last 3 years. But Deal earned $2.6 million in actual pay in 2023, and his total compensation jumped 42% to $12.5 million, although Boeing estimates the current value at $9.7 million. Boeing's board also decided this year that the value of long-term executive officer awards would be reduced by the percentage decline in the company's stock price since the blowout and the 2024 award date. But Boeing did enjoy improved financial results in 2023 as a result of Calhoun's first 2 years running the Boeing. But it continued to lose money as it has every year since 2019. However, Boeing trimmed those losses by 60%, reporting a core operating loss of $1.8 billion. However, its stock gained 37% during 2023, and it had a record month for new commercial jet orders in December, giving it one of its best sales years ever as airlines were eager for new jets to meet strong demand for travel. But then January 5th happened and the door plug blew out, and Boeing's reputation for safety and quality reached an all-time low. As a result, preliminary investigation by the NTSB found that the plane had left the Boeing factory 2 months before the incident, missing the 4 bolts needed to hold the door plug in place. But if you recall, Calhoun told investors in January that Boeing caused the problem, and we understand that. And whatever conclusions are reached, Boeing is accountable for what happened. But Calhoun turned 67 later this month, and Boeing's board had actually moved back the retirement age for CEOs by 5 years just to keep him in place. Upon his retirement, Calhoun is set to take away a giant going-away present, a $45 million mix of stock awards and options that vest over time. That's on top of whatever salary and bonuses he may earn this year. Although it wouldn't be surprising if Boeing's board vastly reduces his 2024 pay, and perhaps his retirement awards as well, simply because of the state he's left the company in as CEO. Calhoun became CEO in January of 2020 in the midst of a 20-month grounding of the 737 MAX following the 2 fatal crashes that killed 346 people in late 2018 and early 2019. But soon after, and almost immediately actually, Boeing and the entire aviation industry was hit by a historic decrease in air travel, caused by the pandemic, which caused demand for planes to come to a near standstill. So in April of that year, again graciously, Calhoun suspended his own base pay. But with stock and other compensation he had already received when taking the job, brought his total 2020 compensation to $21.7 million. It climbed slowly and steadily in the 2 subsequent years, bringing his total compensation to $64.6 million, heading into 2023. And closing out our broken Boeing news, this coming from Forbes, Alaska Airlines announced in a filing last week that it has received a $160 million cash payment from Boeing in compensation for lost revenue streaming from the January mid-flight door plug blowout incident, which forced the groundings of Boeing's 737 MAX 9 aircraft. The airline says the payment covers the profits lost in the first quarter of 2024 due to the groundings. Boeing is expected to provide more compensation beyond the first quarter, but the terms of those agreements are confidential, Alaska said. Alaska acknowledged that it lost some bookings following the incident, but due to increased demand for air travel, February and March both finished above our original pre-grounding expectations. But Boeing CFO Brian West told Forbes he acknowledged that the company put customers in a tight spot, and he said the company would continue to stand behind our customers while vowing that customer consideration would manifest itself this quarter 95 cents. That's the loss per share that Alaska estimates is attributable to the January accident and resulting Boeing 737 MAX 9 groundings. Alaska's new estimated loss per share in the first quarter of this year are $1.15 to $1.05. So there you have it. You're all caught up and up to date on Boeing broken news. As always, I look forward to being educated and enlightened by you. So don't forget to let me know down below. And as always, of course, this is Maximus.